Okay students, welcome to the next lecture of Biomedical Engineering. Now we are discussing Unit 6 Monitoring Records and Shock Hazards. In the previous classes we have seen biopotential amplifiers. Next we have seen different types of recorders. In this class we will see the concept of monitors. Alright, so coming to in the hospitals, we have different types of monitors. So these monitors generally displays the patient information. So see, this is an example picture of present day monitors which will be available in the hospitals. So in this display, first we can see the ECG signal behavior, right? Here two different types of ECG signals are available. So these signals will give the ECG information either lead 1, lead 2 or lead 2, lead 3 or lead 1, lead 3 or AVG, AVL or AVF. Otherwise V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6 leads information. So these 12 informations we can see at a time on this display. Otherwise we can see 2 channels of data at a time. Other than this electrocardiograph signal, other than the ECG signal, we can see the saturation percentage of oxygen. So the saturation percentage of oxygen information also we can see here. Generally, the range of the saturation percentage of oxygen is 100. Generally, it will for every common human being, the maximum value of the SpO2 value is 100. The minimum value may be 80 to 85. If the range is less than 80, there may be a problem with the patient blood. It may be the oxygen percentage of in the blood is going to be reduced. So the average everyone has to maintain 95 or 98 value of SpO2. Presently in the smartwatches also we can see this SpO2 heart sensor behaviors. That is heart rate also we can see in the smartwatches also in the present day. But in the previous days we don't have that much of facilities. So in this monitor we can see ECG signal, SpO2 and temperature behaviors and other remaining informations. Here this is the first indication 80 which represents the heart rate, and 120 by 80 this is representing the blood pressure BP of the patient, and this is the SpO2 value, it is represented by 100, and here all the remaining parameters and their internal calculations and the previous data, that is in the last day what is the behavior of the patient, that is we can trace from this monitor, and we can read all the data and it can store 2 to 3 days of information of the patient. After that we can delete this data, otherwise you can store the data by using pen drive. These are the present day monitors. Let us see the monitors which will be available in the starting days. Let us come with that type of CRT displays. So coming to here, the total monitors we have divided into 3 categories. The 3 categories are conventional displays, second one bouncing ball displays, and third one non-faded displays. First one conventional display, second one bouncing ball display, and third one non-faded display. The first 2 displays are related to CRT displays only, and here the conventional displays has a bouncing ball display also, but it is with very less speed. The bouncing ball display, it has very high speed of electron beam, so that we will see now. Now coming to the third one, non-fade display. These are the old model displays which will be available in the starting days of biomedical engineering. So this is also an advanced machine or advanced patient monitoring display. You can observe this type of display in the present day intensive care unit, that is ICUs, or general wards, or in the operation theaters. Okay, so this is it has a lot of connectivity and lot of functionalities. Here we have 4 switches and 1 push knob and 1 on and off button. Here we have lot of connectivities to connect a ventilator machine, or we can connect any other different types of defibrillator machines. Otherwise, you can connect to the PC. You can copy the complete data from this monitor. Okay, so these type of displays are presently using. So many companies like Siemens, Philips, General Electricals, and different types of companies are manufacturing this patient monitoring displays. And coming to that, the first conventional displays. We will see the conventional displays. So these are the examples of some of the CRT displays. So this is the CRT, this is the CRT, this is the CRT based displays. What is meant by CRT? CRT means cathode ray tube. Cathode ray tube display. So in this display we have a vacuum area, in a glass material we have some vacuum area. In this vacuum area we are sending some electrons. These electrons will touch the end point on some surface, on some material coated surface. Whenever the electrons reach on the some material coated surface, it will displace, it will give some light output. That is we are calling as displays. So coming to here, these are some of the examples of olden days CRT based displays. So see here, in the basic, the back side of the CRT display, here we have a lot of electronic components, and here we have, this is almost a vacuum based display. So previous displays are normal displays, and this is a non-faded display. Okay, in this non-faded display we have raster screen type operations. Next, coming to that, this is a basic principle of CRT, cathode ray tube basic principle, and coming to operation. So see here, I am representing this area. See here, the yellow color coated, this yellow color coated area is completely CRT2. So see this area. This yellow color coated area is completely CRT tube. You can see clearly the CRT tube here clearly. The CRT tube consisting of completely vacuum based structure. This is a vacuum based structure. Here I am representing all the areas here. Here I have represented, see carefully. Now let us see clearly. So this yellow color area is representing the CRT, and the remaining parts are the other circuits. So coming to here we have deflecting coils. These are the deflecting coils. We have horizontal deflection coils and vertical deflection coils, and here we have focusing coils. These two are the focusing coils. Let us see, I am representing here. This is the focusing coils. These are the focusing coils. Okay, next, this is the deflecting plate. These are the deflecting plates. This is this one and this one. Deflecting plates. This is the focusing coil, and this is also focusing coils. Okay, so these are the focusing coils. And now I am erasing everything. Right, now I have erased everything. See here, this is the part of cathode ray tube. This is the part of the cathode ray tube. Here we have a heater. Generally the heater will produce heat. Here this heater will produce electrons. So after giving some power supply, the heater will heat some up to some temperature. After that, it will release the electrons. These electrons will travel in this direction. These electrons will travel in this direction. These electrons will travel in this direction. Okay, right. After coming to here, these electrons are going to hit the target material. So see here, this is the target area, target display. There is some green color or blue color or hash color display. Okay, so the outer side, other than this side, the viewers can view the signal. In this side, we are sending some electrons. These electrons are generating at the cathode ray tube, particularly at the heater, and these electrons are traveled through the focusing coils and deflecting coils, and it will reaches to the end screen. There is a target screen. On this target screen, we are placing some phosphorus material. Whenever these electrons are touches the phosphorus screen, then the light will, then some light will be emitted. That light is nothing but as our tracing information. That is whatever the information you are giving. For example, if you are giving 5 volts, that information will be available on some top side based to ground. Some reference to 0 value, it will display at the some 5 volts, and it may be displayed at the downside if it is the -5 value. Like that, the information will appear. So coming to here, it is very simple operation. The focusing coils are helpful to improve the brightness of the signals or to reduce the brightness of the signal. So that is the purpose of focusing coils. Next, deflection coils. Deflection coils, we have 2 types of deflection coils, horizontal and vertical deflection coils. For example, see here, this is my CRT screen. So see here, consider this is the dot which representing the electron. This is the dot which representing the electron. If the electron, if you want to display the left side or right side, if you want to display the left side or right side, if you want to move the left side, you have to use here vertical deflection plates. If you want to move the electron beam in the horizontal direction, then you have to use vertical deflection plates. If you want to move that is in the horizontal direction, if you want to move it is in the vertical direction, then you have the horizontal deflection plates. Okay, so by using horizontal and vertical deflection plates, you can move this beam in any direction wherever you want. Right? For example, if you want a signal in this fashion, if you want to see this signal in this fashion, then you have to move this electron. You have to give some information to horizontal and vertical deflection plates. Then these horizontal deflection plates will helpful to draw this type of signals on the phosphorus screen. Okay, let us coming to here. In this diagram, we have the first heater. The heater will helps to release heat the coil, and here we have a cathode. This is called heater cathode. This cathode will emit the electrons, and here we have 2 focusing coils, 2 deflection coils, and here we have a control grid, and we have some anode type of structures here. These are the anode type structures. Here we have 3 different types of anode structures. Other than this, we have some of the electronic circuitry, that is horizontal deflection system, vertical deflection system, and sawtooth wave generators and time-based generators. These are the different types of blocks which will be available in this CRT that we can learn in the electronic measurements and instrumentation subject. Otherwise, you can see in the EDC laboratory, we have a trainer kit of cathode ray oscilloscope. In that, we can see clearly. So, this is the basic operation of CRT display. Okay, right. Next. So, see here some of the examples of CRT displays. So, this is a generalized CRT display which we can observe in generally in the education institutions, in the laboratories, or in anywhere. Okay, so this is also one type of display we can see in the education institutions or industries. These type of displays are only available in the education institutions and less cost establishment organizations. So this type of displays are, we can see wherever the speed is required. Okay, so see here the display seems to be like as a very fast. Here the display is very slow. Here the speed of this display of this electron beam. So here see this electron beam display speed is nearly 10 to 25 mm per second. Okay, it may be per second, it may be moved 10 mm or 25 mm. Coming to here, this display almost with the speed of 100 mm per second or 200 mm per second. Okay, coming to these type of displays are called conventional displays. These type of displays are called conventional These type of displays are called conventional displays, and coming to this type of displays are called bouncing ball displays. These type of displays are called bouncing ball displays. This type of displays are called conventional displays. If you are leaving some bouncing ball, it will hit the ground and it will come back and again it will hit. That is in the fashion of bouncing ball, it will works. Okay, so this is the bouncing ball display. These are the two different types of displays here we are using. Okay, right. So these two are the conventional displays only, and these two are the bouncing ball displays, but it seems to be like as an exact bouncing ball display, but it seems to be like as in a old model and a slow bouncing ball display. So for that reason called this is normal conventional displays, and this is called bouncing ball display. Okay, right. Next coming to that, this is the display called non-faded display. In the olden days we have this type of displays. In this display we will get only waveform. In the previous two displays also we have waveform. Here also we have a single waveform. This is also completely based on the CRT principle only, but some advanced structure will be available with compared to the previous days. So we can call this is the non-faded display. This is you can call non-fade displays. In this display, the AC signal seems to be like this in the dotted style. We cannot observe a full signal with a straight lines, but you can observe the signal in the dotted line fashion. For example, the normal ECG signal we are drawing in this way. Okay, but the non-fade displays will give the information of ECG signal behavior like this. That means it will show with the dotted line fashion. It will show the dotted line fashion. This is the present day displays. This is the olden days displays. Dot display. We can call dot display. Non-faded displays with the dots. That is the basic operation. This is the non-fade display. You have to observe this one very closely. Then only you can observe the behavior. Now coming to these are the present day LED, LCD, SCD. We have a lot of displays where LED, light emitting diode displays, LCD, liquid crystal display diodes, and SCD, surface electron diodes. We have surface emitter displays, like we have lot of displays in the monitors. Okay, so this is about different types of displays. So these type of non-fade displays, coming to that, their operation. The electron beam rapidly scans the entire surface of the CRT screen in a television like raster pattern, but with the brightness level so low that the background raster is not visible. Here that is a very important one, raster pattern. For example, if you have a TV like this, I will draw separately. So see here, you have a TV like this. Right, you have a TV like this. In this TV, you have the complete image is divided into different parts. For example, here we have a plant. This is the image. See here, this is the image, and this is the display, non-fade. This is the non-fade display, right? This is the image. This is an example of image. So this is an image. In this image, the complete image is divided into first horizontal parts. This image is divided now into different types of horizontal section. So this is the first horizontal line, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, and seventh one. Here we have different rows of this image. Okay, so the first the total screen will be in the previous displays. We have a single electron beam, and when it is moving, we can observe the signal. In this type of displays, the total display is represented with some image. This image is divided into different types of parts in the horizontal direction. So this is the first part. In this part, it will divide different columns. Okay, right. First, it will read the information in this first box. What is the information is there available in this first box? That information first here it will display. Next, it will come into the second part. Then it will display the second part. Next, coming to the third part, it will display here. Now it is coming to the fourth part. Let it come. So it will, in this way, here each part will be displayed in the first row. After completion of first row, it will displace the second row, first part, second row, second part, second row, third part, second row, fourth part, second row, fifth part. Is it clear? So it will displace in the horizontal. First, it will takes the total image into different segments. The horizontal segments it will take. In the first line, first column it will displace. Like the raster scanning processor. This is a processor called raster scanning. In the display, the raster scanning process are using mostly. Okay, so this is the raster scanning process. This is a raster scanning process. Right. These are the non-faded displays behavior. That is the basic operation of non-faded display. The beam is brightened only when a brightening signal is applied to the CRT by a method called Z-axis modulation. So here we have some Z-axis modulation. With the help of Z-axis modulation, we can display the signal. Okay. Each time the entire screen is scanned, each of the traces appears as a series of dots similar to the ECG pattern. So in the non-faded display, I said already previously, we will get a signal in the dotted fashion. That type of dotted signals you can observe in the CRT displays. Okay, so these are the some of the examples of the CRT based displays. CRT based displays. Now let us see one more example. In this example, you can see how these displays are arranged in the hospitals. So see here, if the patient bedside display. This is an example of patient bedside display. So in ICU, intensive care unit, this is a patient bed. Here the patient generally he lies here. He will take a lot of treatment on this bed. So beside this bed, we have some. See here, this one, this one, this one, this one. These 5 machines are blood injecting machines. That means here some of the drugs it may be useful for the patient body. Other than the syringe, some of the high concentration drugs we have to inject to the patient with the help of syringes. Okay, some syringes are seems to be like as a small one that generally we are using directly the patient, the nurses coming to the patient and they are doing the process of injection. But here, these injections are placed in a machine. That injection quantity may be 100 ml to 200 ml or maybe 50 ml. This 50 ml of drug has to inject to the patient with a slow process. So for that reason, they are connected these injection machines. These injection machines slowly it will pull the drug into the patient body. It may be 2 hours, it may be 3 hours. If you want to send the drug continuously for 5 hours to the patient, you can program in this blood injection machine. Then the drug will be entered into the patient body for equal amount of liquid for 5 hours. Okay. Then coming to that patient-sided bed monitor. In this monitor, you can see ECG signal, temperature, SpO2, BP values, and all the information required. Here we have one more monitor. In this monitor, we can process or we can calculate or we can derive new functionalities. We can derive new functionalities of the disease behavior in the separate system. This is for computer processing operation. This is for computer processing operation. This is for normal operations. Okay, so this is the basic behavior. This is a basic equipment which will be available at the patient bedside in the ICU. Let us see. This is one more example. The types of displays available in the operation theater. This is a very modern operation theater. These are the OT lights. OT means operation theater. This is the OT bed, operation theater bed, and these are the OT monitors, operation theater monitors. So see one more picture. In this picture, you can closely watch the information of the patient. So see here, the patient is there on the bed and the doctors are doing the operation. In this operation, the closest areas are inside the body. We cannot monitor perfectly. Some of the cameras we are arranged towards the patient, and these cameras will display the internal organs behavior in this monitor. So see here, this is the stomach view of the patient. This is the monitor. This is the biggest monitor. In this big monitor, you can see the internal stomach behavior of the patient. The patient has some problem. This problem, by keeping some of the instruments or blades or scissors or maybe some holder devices, the doctors removing that part, or maybe they are treating the part, or they may be cutting the part. So they can see here and they can see. At the same time, they can see the patient reports which will be taken before the operation. The images they are placed here. So here one side we have CRT image, and the another side we have some X-ray report, and another side we have ECG data, blood pressure of the live data. That is at the time during of the operation, what is the blood pressure of the patient? The blood pressure value you can see here, and you can see the temperature value, and you can see all the values which will be normally taken by the patient at the ICU general ward. All the normalized informations you can see at that particular time. What is the position of the patient? All the parameters you can monitor on a single screen. You can monitor all this information in a single monitor. Okay, and without making any delay, we can save the patient within the time by giving the perfect treatment. So this is the present scenario of operation theaters. In the present operation theaters, we are equipping, we are giving we are equipping with a lot of advanced monitors which will give the live tracking details of the patient in a single display. In a single display, we can measure lot of patient-related physiological parameters. ECG you can measure, and temperature, SpO2, BP, pulse rate, lot of parameters. ECG, EEG you can observe, and previous records of the patient, and live camera relay. All these functions we can observe. So a group of doctors observing this monitor, and they are doing the operation for the patient. Okay, so this is about the monitors in this particular unit. In the next class, we will see the concept of shock hazards from electrical equipment to the patient. Okay, thank you.